Jake Brend and Derek Duke break down everything you need to know throughout the Big 12. This is Bigger Than 12, presented by WealthCharter Retirement Planning and Tax. From the Channel Seed Studios, this is Bigger Than 12 on Iowa Everywhere.
What is up? Welcome into Bigger Than 12 in the Channel Seed Studios. I'm Jake Brend, joined by Derek Duke down in Texas. Derek, how did the Iowa State bye week treat you? I know it probably doesn't affect you too much.
It was an undefeated week, so you look at it like that. You take the wins when you can. So anytime you don't lose over the weekend, that's always a good thing.
Undefeated Saturday.
Undefeated Saturday, that is right. And
Friday didn't happen.
No, it did not. What a weekend, and thanks to Jake for making me and Aiden wake up at the ass crack of dawn this morning after a super late night of football.
It's 10:30 in the morning.
I know. No beer for me today. It's too late, and it's too late for my coffee, so I'm
too
rocking
late for
with
coffee. What are you talking about?
After 10 a.m., I'm not drinking coffee. No way. So I actually have a tea here, so I am drinking tea. I think I did last week too, so that's 2 weeks of no beer. That's not.
Oh, you're drinking tea. You must be thrilled for next year's Kansas Arizona State matchup in London.
Well, it's sweet tea.
Oh,
I don't drink hot tea.
Hot tea sucks.
That sucks. And I also want to thank Chad from Channel Seed. He hooked me up with this sweet hat here. Gave me some channel gear. So thank you, Chad, and thank you to Channel Seed.
The Seedsman. Yeah, Chad
is always coming through.
I've never had a bad encounter with any of the Seedsmen, but Chad Winterbohr is about as good as it gets. So thanks for hooking up the Duke. We've got a big show in store for you today. It's all courtesy of WealthCharter Retirement Planning and Tax. I've actually got a meeting with them set up tomorrow morning, so I'm going to go. Figured this is a good time of year to get everything in check. I know interest rates are down a little bit, so going to see what the investing world looks like and just going to get all my finances in check as we head into the meat of the sports calendar and my busiest time of the year. You can do the same thing with Tim Hawkins and his team. You can go to wealthcharterretirement.com to set up an appointment at their Ankeny office. We have so much in store for you today. Texas Tech, Arizona State, both with big wins, as well as TCU. We're going to get to all of it, but we should probably start with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. They go into Salt Lake City and just dominate Utah. And it wasn't domination start to finish. This first half was really back and forth. I think you tweeted that it went from a slugfest to a slopfest. I couldn't have said it any better myself. Baron Morton goes down, and then the 5-star redshirt freshman Will Hammond comes in and takes over. Texas Tech wins 34-10. Derek, your biggest takeaway from the quote-unquote biggest Big 12 game of the year?
What Texas Tech did to Utah and Salt Lake City was the most impressive thing I have seen so far in the Big 12 this year. Tech went into Utah, beat the brakes off a fellow Big 12 title contender, but the way they did it is what impressed me. With that defense of theirs, they won the line of scrimmage up front. They held Utah to 100 yards rushing, forced, 4 turnovers in that game. Their defense exposed Dampier at quarterback. They dominated on that side of the ball. And offensively for them, it was kind of a weird game. It wasn't flashy at all. But when Baron Morton went out and Will Hammond came in, things changed for Texas Tech, and they were good changes. After taking a beating, Morton had to leave the game, and Will comes in. He goes 13 for 16 with 2 touchdowns. And I believe now that there's a strong argument to make that Will Hammond should be the starting quarterback for the Red Raiders. People forget that he's a talented quarterback. He filled in last year, and he did some things that Morton simply can't do.
One of those things, as of now, is staying healthy.
Yeah, that's important.
For me, this is way more positive about Hammond than it is negative about Morton. But you're Baron Morton. You're I'm not going to say made of glass, but extremely injury prone pretty much your entire time in Lubbock. And you're going out, I think it's a 2nd and 23, or it's a long play, and you're fighting for an extra yard or two by not giving yourself up and you get hurt. You just got to be smarter than that. And
get down.
The problem for Morton that does is it opens up the door for Hammond, who I think no doubt is more talented. It just comes down to who does the staff trust more. And I don't know how you see what Hammond did yesterday in that atmosphere against that defense in that spot. I don't know how you don't at least consider the possibility of him being your quarterback going forward, especially when you've got 5-star talent all around. You've got 5-star talent up front on both sides. You're thrown to some pretty dynamic receivers. Jacoby Williams has been incredible in the back. Like, there is a lot of talent on this field, and if Hammond is the guy to elevate that even further, you're not just looking at a potential Big 12 championship. You're looking at something even further than any other Big 12 team can go.
Yeah, and after this game, I got to make Texas Tech my refreshing take of the week here. They're going to be my focus for my refreshing take of the week by Carbliss. I tweeted this after the game. Texas Tech is the best team in the Big 12 right now, hands down, after that performance. How many teams can go into Utah and beat the Utes like that in the Big 12? I don't think I could name one. So Texas Tech may be that only team here. And what's crazy to me that I don't think many people are talking about is that Texas Tech didn't even play their best game.
No.
And they did that to Utah. 14 penalties, 2 turnovers on the road, and you win by 24. And Jake, I'll say this, you owe the Red Raiders an apology. You were just sliding them down.
I know.
Sliding them down all off season. You're just like, I don't think I really like them. And well, now they look like the best team in the conference, and I don't think there's any argument about it.
Yes, you're right. I do think they are the best team in the conference, and I gave myself some insurance on that take, because I said, if it's all right, they should win the league by a landslide. I just didn't think it was going to be right, and I've been proven way wrong so far, and I think I'll continue to be proven wrong. However, right around this time last year, we had a little matchup between Oklahoma State and Utah that we deemed the Big 12 or the Big 12 championship in September. And then look where both of those teams went. So it's not, it is by far the most impressive win. It's by far the most impressive performance of any Big 12 team this year. And they deserve credit for that. And I think they should be the Big 12 favorite. But at the same time, would it shock you next week if the Fighting Willie Fritzes made it difficult after a spot like that? I guess that game's in 2 weeks, but I'm not just handing Tech 12-0 yet, even though if there's any Big 12 team to do it, it's them.
They'll slip up somewhere. But when you go to WealthCharter on Monday morning, you better buy some Texas Tech stock. See if you can do that.
I don't think they can do that. That'd be cool.
Oh, man.
We should start some sort of service like that.
For sure. And the other thing is for Utah now, we kind of talked about them being that upper tier of the Big 12, and after a game like that, I just feel like they were completely exposed. Completely exposed in that game, and that is not good for if you're a Utah fan, because what you went through last year, and now with the way things are looking this year, if you stack the box against them and force Dampier to throw the football, I think that's the recipe for any defense to have success against Utah's offense. Yeah,
and that leads me into my Freedom Tire Who Needs a Fix? And it is Devin Dampier. I have been a big Dampier believer. I have been maybe not the leader of the Devin Dampier fan club, but I'm definitely a council member. I have a lot of stock in him, a lot of stock in Utah.
Yep.
They let me down on Saturday. There's no doubt about it. I thought the Utah defense was good. Like, of course, the dam kind of broke open at the end, but the game was over. They weren't winning that game. It was the Utah offense that could not move the ball, and when they did move the ball, they gave it away. And a lot of that, Devin Dampier was just not making plays. He wasn't making plays with his legs. I know he came in a little dinged up. He missed a wide open touchdown in a crucial spot. Wide open. Not even close. He was trying to go to his back shoulder when he should have been leading him towards the end zone. It was plays like that that showed me, yeah, I might have had too much Dampier stock. And it's not over yet. Again, what I think Texas Tech is right now is the equivalent of what Texas and Oklahoma used to be in this conference. What they have up front, the way they invested in that D-line, they made Utah's offensive line that has 2 first-round picks on it look like middle schoolers. Like, Texas Tech is so good up front, so I'm not going to let this single game by Dampier define him. But if this is what the accuracy looks like for him in close games or in games against good defenses, then Utah will not achieve the goals that I thought they were capable of.
Yeah, we kind of saw this in the first half. You remember last week against Wyoming, you look in that first half where they put up 3 points and they
just
could not
missed
finish
opportunities.
drives.
Yeah.
Kind of the same experience here in this game. Just you had some opportunities there early on to kind of take control of the game, and they just never did.
Also, you got to give credit to Jacob Rodriguez for Texas Tech. He's just an incredible linebacker.
Stud.
Like, fumbles are bad all the time, no matter what. But sometimes another player just makes an incredible play to punch the ball out. So it's plays like that has set Texas Tech apart from everyone else in the conference so far. And now, I mean, the sky's the limit. At this point, the goal, I know it's always been for McGuire, it's get to Arlington. Right now, you got to win in Arlington, and I think you got to set your sights even higher than that. Like, go win a playoff game or two. I think that's well within the realm of possibility from what I saw from that, specifically the defense. Like, I knew the offense was going to be really dynamic all year long, but the defense to do what they did, so impressive.
Let's take it one game at a time for Texas Tech. It's a long-ass season.
The good news for them, they get a bye. Like, talk about a good time for a bye week.
Yep.
You can get Baron Morton healthy, and then Joey McGuire is going to have a decision on his hands that I don't envy making that decision, but it's a good problem to have when you're choosing between your veteran gunslinger or the young 5-star. And then you just go out for they'll have a really, really tough stretch coming out of that bye week, and you see what happens.
I don't think it's a decision. I think you give the job to Hammond.
There's a lot of politics involved with that. Like, I agree with you. If this is a video game, I'm switching to Hammond from what I saw. But when it's your 5th or 6th year guy who is your guy and it is the leader of the locker room, it's not that easy. But again, it's
you got to win now. You
do.
Only have a few opportunities here.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's more so just you got to be really careful with how you go about that. And I wouldn't want to be in that situation if I were Joey McGuire.
I would, because they have so much money. They don't even know what to do with it.
Well, that doesn't matter right now. I'm talking about this scenario. All right, let's move on to Arizona State. This game was awesome. For as excited as I was for Illinois, Indiana, this game, what?
Were people seriously excited for Illinois and Indiana?
I was just excited for like 3 games in every time slot. So then when the 6:30 time slot hits and Kansas is just beating the brakes off of West Virginia and the Illinois-Indiana game is over before it starts, we really needed this Arizona State-Baylor game to deliver, and it did. Because it was just like, it was blowout cities. I had 3 TVs set up. It was blowout cities on the corners. But this game lived up. Arizona State proves to me that they're still here. And that is my refreshing take, brought to you by Carbless, the premium handcrafted cocktails. I had a few of these yesterday. They are delicious. I know C-Dub said it earlier this week on one of the shows. I think he stole it from me, though. Cranberry is by far my favorite. I've been saying that for weeks on this show. You should go and pick up a variety pack. I'd recommend maybe picking up a pack of just the cranberries. You can do it at any of your local gas station, grocery store, liquor store. Thanks to Carbless for supporting our refreshing takes. And that's my refreshing take. Arizona State, I think they lost to a pretty good team on the road in Mississippi State. I know they went 2-10 last year. I think that's a Mississippi State team that's got the potential to win 7, 8, 9 games in the SEC. And we're going to look back at their loss to Mississippi State is not that bad. And what they showed me, going head-to-head with Sawyer Robertson, the weapon, Michael Trigg, unbelievable tight end making plays for Baylor. That was a really hard game for Arizona State to win, and they did it when they got the ball back and put the ball in Sam Leavitt, Jordan Tyson's hands. They went and won the game, and it proves to me that Arizona State is still a full-fledged contender, and they are going to be in the mix come November.
Yeah, and for me, it was for those who thought Arizona State wasn't for real because of that loss to Mississippi State. I think they need to think again because this team is one of the most complete teams in the conference. That defense of theirs really slowed down Baylor's offense, forcing 3 turnovers, keeping Baylor's run game in check. The Bears have an outstanding offense, and their defense did a great job of holding up. And then here, I think you have to focus on Sam Leavitt. The stat line may not always be the prettiest.
Yep.
But damn, he steps up in big moments time and time again, whether it's with his arm, his legs, he gets the job done. When Arizona State needs a score, he finds Jordan Tyson for the big score. When Arizona State needs to get in field goal range, he gets him there, and he gets it done. So he's a scrapper, man, and it's hard not to root for a guy like that. And, sometimes these games, plain and simple, they come down to mistakes, and those 3 turnovers by Baylor and the leadership of Sam Leavitt were the difference in this ball game. And I also have to wonder, just for Baylor's side of things, are we officially back now on the fired Dave Aranda train? I looked it up after the game.
Who got off the train?
Well, some people did after the SMU win.
Not me.
Well, that's fair. But now his head coaching record, 33-32 overall, 21-25 in Big 12 play after that loss to Arizona State.
Woof.
And I'm hearing things from people kind of in the know of Baylor, and people that cover them, highly respected people that are starting to get tired of Dave Aranda. Especially they're talking about in these big games like this at home in Waco, he just hasn't gotten the job done.
What's the last big game they won? I can't even picture it. I think anytime that we come on here and praise Dave Aranda, wow. That's a nice win. Didn't see that coming. It's like jumping up, going on the road, beating SMU. Or last year, they had that incredible end of the season when no one expected it. It's never, Baylor has Sawyer Robertson, Bryson Washington, Josh Cameron, Michael Trigg. They've got all of these weapons on offense. And here they've got an SEC team that finished in the bottom half of their conference last year coming in. And what happens? They get their butt kicked for 60 minutes straight. What happens when it's Arizona State? It's a game that is up in the air. And who's supposed to win games up in the air? The home team. It seems like Baylor never wins those games. So I'm not going to come on here and just say fire Dave Aranda Monday, but I think it's pretty clear that there's something within this program that is not ready for the next level. They're not ready for the next step. They're ready to jump up and kick somebody off. I'm sure they're going to have a big win this year when we don't expect it. But if it comes down to week 10, week 11, week 12, and it's a game against, they play Utah November 15th at home. Who knows? That could be a game. Hey, if you win this, you're going to put yourself in a driver's seat to go to Arlington. I don't expect them ever to win those games. And I think that says more about the Aranda era than anything else.
Just so damn inconsistent. And I think you just see flashes of talent that they have, like Sawyer Robinson at quarterback, and you're like, damn, this could be a really good team. And then all of a sudden they just let you down. And then the next week they look pretty good. And then it's just a complete roller coaster ride with this program, really dating back to the start of last season when they started poorly, finished the season red hot, and then now it's kind of just a bumpy ride to start the year. You lose to Auburn, beat SMU, now you lose to Arizona State, but not really sure what Baylor. But I will say this with Arizona State, that was a damn impressive win on the road in a tough environment. And for them to get the job done the way they did, late in that game, kicking a 40-plus yard field goal in that situation. Hats off to Arizona State. That was a massive, massive win, and what a great game that was, too. That was probably the best game of the weekend of the Big 12.
Yeah, and what I will say is even though I do think Arizona State is a full-fledged contender, I think they're still lacking something compared to last year. And the obvious is Cam Scattaboo. But the more big picture thing that I think they're missing is just the big play. This feels like a grinded out offense completely, which is fine, but they're going to get in shootouts. If they're going to try and grind out games against Texas Tech, that's not going to work. I think their secondary is pretty questionable. I think Iowa State could hit a couple big plays against them in Jack Trice Stadium. Are they capable of hitting those big plays to stay in games? Because what I see right now is they're trying out these running backs by committee, and they're all doing a fine job, but none of them have really completely taken the reins, and they're getting a lot of these nice 6-yard chunk runs, but they're really, really lacking just the 40, 50-yard big play that they would get pretty much every game last year from Cam Scattaboo.
And that's the other thing, too. Just with Cam, he could do it not just running the football, but they threw to him plenty last year out of the backfield, and he could just turn a simple 5-yard route into a 50-yard touchdown run. So they are missing that for sure. It does feel a little bit forced, and you're right, it is a grinded out offense, but I think the weapons are still there with their tight ends, with Jordan Tyson, so they still have some pieces to work with. I just think they have some kinks to work out.
Yeah, last night they got 70 yards out of, I believe it's Uzabio. I'm not 100% sure on that pronunciation, but they're going to need someone opposite of Tyson to emerge. Mateer's good, but he's a tight end. You need another downfield threat that can ensure that the defense isn't able to double or triple team Jordan Tyson. If you can get that on the other side of the ball, then that opens up the big play with Tyson downfield. So we'll see if they're able to find that. Speaking of SMU, TCU, just a solid win over SMU. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't maybe as much of a shootout as we expected, even though the score ended up being pretty up there. But TCU didn't play great, but they still find a way to win the game. They find a way to cover, and they find a way to make sure SMU is not beating their rivals in 2025.
I knew that this would be a great game, and it was. Throw the defense out the window and let Josh Hoover and that offense take over, and that's pretty much what happened in this game. I mean, Hoover lit up, SMU, 379 yards, 5 touchdowns. Eric McAllister
oh my gosh,
went off in that game.
What a week to have him on my fantasy team.
So, yeah, he's probably still out there running all over the ponies. And I know I said throw the defense out the window, but I actually thought TCU did a decent job against SMU. They actually gave up less than 100 yards on the ground and forced a pair of turnovers here. So really, really impressed with the Horned Frogs here.
That's honestly probably where I came away the most impressed. It was their defense. And you can look at the total stats and all that, blah, blah, blah. But when they needed to stop for the most play, or for the most part, they pretty much got one. And their offense wasn't perfect. It wasn't, I don't think it was as efficient as we're used to seeing, because they had 3 punts in the second half. You don't typically see TCU teams do that. But when they punted or when they missed a field goal, what did they do every time? They stopped SMU. Other than the one time SMU took the lead in the fourth quarter, and then that's when Eric McAllister took over. I think I'm just a little more impressed now by TCU as a well-rounded team than I was even going into the season. I expected a ton out of Hoover. Expected them to emerge with wide receivers. They always have wide receivers. But their defense looks like it's, I'm not going to call it a championship level defense, but their defense appears to be good enough to where they can compete for a Big 12 championship.
Yeah, and there were a lot of questions about their defense, including from both of us here. And I think this win should establish them as one of the top teams in the Big 12. I mean, Josh Hoover, you look at him, he's arguably the best quarterback in the Big 12. Their defense is improving. They are a team I would not want to play right now. But congrats to TCU for winning the Sonny Dykes Bowl, bringing back the Iron Skillet to Fort Worth. And I don't know if anybody saw like Rhett Lashley's comments after that game with the SMU head coach.
I didn't.
Just kind of crying about losing the game, saying, "Oh, TCU doesn't want to play us anymore, but whether we play them or we play LSU or Alabama, whoever it is, we're still going to build a top program here, and we're not going to worry about what they're doing, 40 miles west down the road." So it was just a cowardly response to a loss. But you know what? Screw him. So our rich kids are better than your rich kids, ACC. That's the way I look at it.
Well, if you do want to look at how much TCU's improved, they gave up 66 points to SMU last year. So that, I think right there, it shows, and I know SMU fans are pretty salty still about Sonny Dykes, even though they've had plenty of success of their own since he left. But that was a fun rivalry to see from the outside looking in up here in Iowa, especially on Twitter. Those fans do not like each other.
They hate each other.
Can I give a shout out to somebody?
Yeah.
Joseph Manjack.
No gloves.
No gloves, no wristbands, no accessories. What's he do though? He just catches the ball, makes plays.
Hard hat and lunch pail kind of attitude.
I was trying to think if I know of any no gloves wide receivers, and I couldn't think of any. That is awesome.
It's rare.
I'm cheering
college football.
I'm cheering for Manjack going forward. Not that he needs my approval, but I was very, very blown away. That's all I was thinking about the entire game. I had to go rewatch it so I could have other takeaways.
He's a great receiver.
He is. They've had 3 different 100-yard receivers so far this season, in a single game. They've got dudes that can step up and make plays. Now, I'm sure in a couple weeks it'll be Dwyer. I'm sure Manjack will have another game. McAllister probably won't go for 250 again, but he's certainly capable of doing it any given day. TCU is dangerous. That's a dang good team. Speaking of dangerous, they're probably flying a little bit under the radar just because they're lost to Mizzou, but Kansas rolls over West Virginia. I know I got this pick right.
Yeah,
you didn't.
West Virginia minus 13 may be my worst pick of all time. I mean, credit to Jalen Daniels. He was efficient, and Kansas was the team to get it done on the ground, which was a little bit surprising to me. They almost rushed for 260 yards in this game. West Virginia had absolutely no answer for them. I thought West Virginia would be the one to run well and play defense, and the script was totally flipped in this game. It was Kansas who outrushed West Virginia. It was Kansas who dominated defensively. And, you mentioned, I know this team lost to Missouri, but this Kansas team is going to sneak up on some people, so do not sleep on this team. On the flip side here for West Virginia, they are my who needs a fix by Freedom Tire. That offense of theirs is damn near unwatchable. I would rather pour an entire bottle of hot sauce in my eyes than have to watch that offense play again. Nico is not the guy for them. They have no playmakers. After White leaves, they have nothing. And Jake, I know you picked West Virginia higher than I did, but if they play like that, there is no way that team is winning a Big 12 game this year. Zero chance.
How bad is Pitt? If West Virginia can beat Pitt,
that's a rivalry game. So I hate putting a lot of stock into some of these games.
That's fair.
Because of just the emotional level of it all. But I don't know. I don't think Pitt's very good, but I don't think it's really saying much for West Virginia to beat them at home.
No, I'm messing with you. Looking back, I still defend the rationale of my take. I wanted to pick one of the bottom feeders to jump up and surprise some people. And my thought was Rich Rod pulling a Signetti, not to the extent of what Indiana did last year, but just bringing a lot of guys from a successful group of 5 team and combining that with Jaheim White. But you throw out Jaheim White, they don't have the quarterback. They're not very good. And Kansas, I think, is really good. And Kansas did pretty much exactly what I expected them to yesterday. I don't have many takeaways other than that. Just that the better team dominated like they should. And honestly, I mean, if there is a takeaway, it's that this is what Kansas should have been doing last year, and they weren't doing it. Now they're doing it. That's a really good sign for the Jayhawks.
For sure.
So we'll move on. We've got, I'm not going to say, 3 games against cupcakes. North Carolina's a cupcake. North Carolina falls to UCF. BYU rolls in Colorado also. Semi-rolls over Wyoming. Congratulations, Derek. Your UCF Knights are...
Yes.
They're in full-fledged contention of the Big 12. Potentially even the national championship. I wouldn't stop there. They might have what it takes to three-peat in the college football playoff. So
wow.
I'm sorry for pushing back on your take of buying all of this UCF stock. It appears that you're right and I'm wrong. My full apology.
As the only UCF fan on this show and maybe the state of Iowa, how about those Knights? I mean, they take it right to Bill Belichick and beat the crap out of the Tar Heels in the bounce house. UCF found I think they found their guy with Taven Jackson at quarterback.
Yeah, jokes aside, I do like Taven Jackson.
They should stick with him 100%. Led the team in passing, led the team in rushing. He's their guy. And with the win, Big 12 teams have now outscored North Carolina 82-23, which is about the same gap as Bill Belichick and his girlfriend. I saw this before the game.
They should switch outfits.
What do you think she was telling him right there? This is pregame, by the way.
Pregame, okay, not halftime.
Not halftime, no.
If you lose, I'm leaving you for Taven Jackson.
I thought she was probably asking him, hey, can we go to Disney World after this? I'd like to meet the princess. She's probably asking to go to Disney World.
Maybe, I don't know.
Also, the guy in the green is just totally looking at her ass.
I'm just
see that from a mile away.
Yeah, I'm fascinated by this picture. Do you think that she helps him dress on game days?
I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. 100%.
Like, is she anti-hoodie? I know that's his thing. To wear the hoodies. He's got like one of the just the short sleeve windbreakers on right now.
His son wears the hoodie. I did see his son Steven wearing the hoodie. He's their defensive coordinator. But
what are you doing wearing a hoodie in Orlando?
I don't know.
In September.
I'll also add this here too. With that win, the Big 12 is now 6-1 against the ACC this year. So suck it, ACC. You should change it from ACC to ASS. The Big 12's owning you right now. And Clemson. Let me say this: Clemson was looked at as one of the top teams in the ACC. Some people had them going to the national championship.
Some people had them winning the national championship.
3 losses already. Dabo's crying. He's on the verge of possibly getting fired after the season. So it is what it is. Florida State is going to have to carry that conference. And I don't even know how good Florida State is.
Well, in Miami. I think Miami's really good.
That's true, too. Miami is a good team.
Well, this just welcomes in the conversation of what conference would you rather be? Would you rather be a conference that has like 2 or 3 really, really high-level teams and the rest of the conference sucks? Or would you rather have like 10 teams at the top of your league that are pretty equal or pretty close and can jump up any given Saturday and knock each other off? Like, I don't think one of those is inherently better than the other, but for whatever reason, the league that has 2 or 3 top teams and a bunch of nothing after that is always going to get the benefit of the doubt nationally. And I don't agree with that. But the Big 12 would be better off if Texas Tech, Iowa State, TCU, if they just mauled everybody and made everybody else look bad. But that wouldn't be fun. That would make this podcast as fun. I don't know. I'm torn on it.
Well, could you imagine? Does anybody want to go play at Stanford right now in front of 10 people?
They're getting those crowds? I counted like 6 people.
There are so many teams in the ACC that shouldn't be there, and they just don't give a shit about football. I mean, there are just some horrendous teams in that conference that are so bad.
Well, an undefeated Cal last night, I was staying up and locked into this game, got smoked by San Diego State. Demolished.
That's what I mean. These West Coast teams from the ACC are just awful.
Yeah. The argument all season long is probably going to be Big 12 versus ACC. And I think this is the year the Big 12 they have the chips in place to get 2 teams. They just have to follow through. Iowa State has to follow through. Texas Tech has to follow through. TCU, those teams just have to win. If you win and you keep winning, then you're going to put yourself in position. Like TCU's got to win over a playoff team from last year. I know SMU's not awesome. I don't think they're as good this year, but it's a win. Iowa State's got to win over Iowa. That's a typically really solid Big Ten program. So those teams didn't embarrass the Big 12 in non-conference play, and that's kind of what it takes, and now you just got to try and go get to 11 wins.
I think the other thing is, too, just the Big 12 is just so much deeper than a lot of these other conferences.
I know.
The ACC, you mentioned it. It's Florida State, and it's Miami, and that's pretty much it. I mean, in the Big 12, you have like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 Big 12 title contenders. You know, I look at the Big 10.
Does Central Florida fit in that mix?
If you want to, you could put it in there. I don't have a problem with that. But
Scott Frost going to kill me? We are not Central Florida.
That fired him up. And if that's
we are the University of Central Florida.
If that's all it takes for them to get fired up, I'm all about it. So please, keep calling them that.
We are not Nebraska. We are the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
I don't think anybody wants to be in Nebraska right now.
I don't get the fascination with these acronyms. Like, what are we? This shouldn't be consuming our show, but I'm not worked up about it at all. I just don't get it. Like, my grandma, if I'm like, hey, grandma, let's watch the USF game tonight, she's not going to know who. Is that the University of Sioux Falls, South Dakota? Because that's what they go by. Is it, I don't know. Is it the University of Stanford / F something? Just go by South Florida. It's so much better for branding. All right, I'm over. I'm over it. I shouldn't have even brought it up.
Are you off now? Are you?
Yeah. Speaking of acronyms, Brigham Young University.
Oh, gosh.
The Cougars. They had a tough spot. I don't think we probably gave it its proper due diligence heading into the game. This is a tough spot going out to Eastern Carolina, a typically pretty solid group of 5 program. They were only 6.5-point favorites, and they just mauled Eastern Carolina. Their defense, I mean, they were in a game, and ECU, as I like to call them, had a bit of a blunder by throwing an out route on their own 1-yard line. That was a pick six before the ball even left the hands. It was reminiscent of Shadur's last year at Nebraska. I don't know if you remember that, but that was the turning point of the game. And BYU, I think they've earned themselves a spot in the top 25. They will most likely be in my patented Tuesday morning poll. And BYU, they seem to be a lot more legit than I thought they were coming into the year, because I didn't even put them in my top 10 of the conference, and I was wrong.
I didn't either, and this was a show-me game for BYU. I said this in my Big 12 Buzz piece on Cyclone Fanatic last week, that BYU is kind of an enigma. I felt absolutely clueless when it comes to the Cougars, and some of my uncertainties were answered in this game. This is kind of a rinse and repeat for BYU from last season. It's about running the rock with LJ Martin and playing great defense. So they do need to clean up their penalties a little bit, but I don't know. As weird as this may sound, and I thought about this after their game, I feel like BYU is like the classic Big Ten team. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They feel more like a Big Ten team in the Big 12 than anything else. Just with the style that they play.
Ball control. Yep. They play ugly. They play good defense. Really good defense. I probably didn't give them enough credit heading into the year on how solid their defense is. And we still have to see them play a good team. Again, ECU is decent. It's a tough spot because it's on the road. That's why it's a tough spot. And we're going to see them get tested against Big 12 teams here coming up. But I think as I look back, I probably overrated Jake Retzloff a little too much. Was he that good? He probably wasn't a top 8 quarterback in the Big 12. So
No.
Replacing him isn't like you had to replace Rocco Becht. It wasn't like you're replacing Sawyer Robertson or Josh Hoover. So I probably docked them too much for that. And this Bear Bachmeier is just better than I would have thought. When I saw the names that BYU had in their quarterback competition, I just threw them kind of in the same category as Oklahoma State or West Virginia or UCF. And that wasn't fair. This Bear Bachmeier seems to be a really competent Big 12 quarterback. And if that's what he is, then BYU is a team that you do not want to play because, like you said, they are the Big 10 team of the Big 12. Like they will ugly it up and they will make it a game pretty much no matter what the talent deficit is. And they've got a lot of talent on the defensive side of the ball as well.
I just want him to change numbers. I can't stand watching him play wearing number 47.
See, I love it.
I hate it. It drives me nuts. I can't do it. Change numbers, please.
Finally, Colorado takes care of Wyoming at home. They were up big in the first half, let them back into it late. Game was never in doubt. I'm not going to say that I had any opinion on Colorado changing after this game. I still don't think very highly of them. They didn't look great. They pretty much won this game based off of pure speed. I was hoping to see them be able to overpower a group of 5 team on their home field. That didn't really happen. In fact, they kind of got hit in the face, and they won this game because they've got a lot of better athletes. They've got a lot more speed. But I'm not going to say that I left this game too impressed with the Buffs.
I wouldn't say I was impressed with Colorado. I think the one thing that is good for them is that they found their quarterback. They played quarterback roulette for the first few weeks of the season, but clearly the answer after this game is Caden Salter. Throws for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, added another one on the ground, and also led the team in rushing. He was the offense on Saturday night for them. No more Ryan Staub. There's no need to bring in Julian Lewis. Stick with Caden because he gives you the best chance to win football games. So that's my takeaway from this Colorado game is that they found their guy at quarterback now.
Completely agree. I don't know what Dion was doing. I didn't think Salter... I said it on here. I didn't think Salter was good at all to start the season. But clearly with what we've seen from the freshman, he's going to be fine. And Ryan Staub, you just got to roll with Salter through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I think he's easily their best option. All right, Aiden, do you have any sad music?
No.
Okay.
Do I need sad music?
No, I was more making a joke. But if you had sad music, you're welcome to play it. Because the Mike Gundy era, whether it's officially over or not, is over.
I don't know.
Here's where the sad music should be playing. Go ahead, Derek.
I don't know if things can get any worse than they are in Stillwater right now.
Man.
If we could trade Oklahoma State for a case of beer and a bottle of Steeple Ridge, I would do it without even thinking twice.
You don't even need to throw the case of beer in.
Yeah, just the Steeple Ridge.
Yeah.
The effort I saw from Oklahoma State in that game against Tulsa was pathetic, and that seems to be a common thing for over a year now. I know Henry is hurt, but I can remember Mike Gundy talking up Zane Flores during the summer. And to be honest, he just doesn't look like a guy that can play at this level. So everyone has their breaking point, and I believe I've officially hit that with Mike Gundy. You go winless in conference play last season, had his worst year at Oklahoma State, and then you look now, things aren't going much better. In fact, you can make a case that this team is worse than what it was last year, and last season was a complete disaster. And Gundy made a lot of changes between the players on the field, the coaching staff, and here we are just a few weeks into the season, and the product on the field still sucks. It's not any better. And I get it. Look, there's going to be a lot of Mike Gundy support out there from some of the people at the school or maybe even on the board, the athletic director, whatever it is. I get it. He built Oklahoma State football from the ground up. He is Oklahoma State football. But at some point, it's going to come to an end. And I think we're at that point. This program is lifeless. It has zero juice. And I'm not really sure if there's anything to look forward to with him as the head coach right now. Like, he's done wonders in Stillwater, don't get me wrong, but it's best for Oklahoma State to move on. Unless a miracle happens, there's no way he should be brought back next season.
Yeah, I've been team. They should just fire Gundy on Monday. I've been on that train all season, and after talking to my co-host over on the Beat Reporters on Cyclone Fanatic, Ben Hutchins of the Quad City Times, who is an Oklahoma State alum, and he's not a homer or anything like that. He's a fan, but he's not irrational. And what he said is there's just no way they fire him mid-season. What he thinks is going to happen, and now after saying it, I completely agree with him. They're going to have a celebration for Mike Gundy. It'll probably be against Iowa State in the last game of the year. That could be a tricky spot. They'll probably put his name on the field. And this isn't going to be, oh, we're firing Mike Gundy. They're not going to pull a Gary Patterson, how they handled him down at TCU. This will be, Coach Gundy, thank you for everything you've done. You built up this program. You took us to new heights, but we got to move in a new era. We got to go younger. We got to go in a different direction. And they'll let him coach one more game in Stillwater. They'll name the field after him. They'll maybe put a statue up outside, and that'll be it. But I don't think we're going to get an alert from Brent McMurphy on Monday. This week, I don't think we'll get one on a Monday after they lose by 50 to so-and-so. I just think because of what he's done, how long he's been there, this is something where they probably let him coach it out and have his last ride in Stillwater.
It's going to be one of those things where he's going to finish out the year. He's not going to get fired midseason. He's not going to step away from the program. We have seen coaches just literally get up and leave, resign. It's not going to be one of those things with Mike Gundy. So, I don't know. I hope Oklahoma State has an answer. I hope they're looking at candidates already. If not, they're going to be way behind come November, December, whenever their season ends. So this team's not making a bowl game either. So I think you have plenty of time.
I need to do some digging into this, but from a couple people that I've talked to and seen, they've got their eyes set on a offensive coordinator that's in the NFL. I don't know if he has Oklahoma State ties or what.
Zach Robinson.
Yeah, so
he was former quarterback there.
Yeah, so a lot of the rumblings is if that happens, then you need to wait anyways until like an NFL OC's not leaving in the middle of the year. So
be a good
if that's the case, and if that's maybe a handshake deal, then by all means just let Gundy coach his last game. And they'll probably be they'll probably be the same amount of underdogs against Iowa State as Iowa State was to them back in 2011, and boy, could that be a storybook ending. But I'm not going to think about that now.
No.
I'm going to choose to ignore that game until the day it happens, because if Iowa State has to play Mike Gundy in his final game, I don't care the talent deficit in that game. That's still horrifying.
Yeah, but his team might have quit already by that point.
Yeah, he might have another team. He might just be grabbing like the intramural flag football champions off of the Oklahoma State campus at that point.
It's possible.
All right, we're going to bring in our esteemed producer, award-winning producer, Aiden Wyatt.
See, you say that. I have won 0 awards. I'm talentless. All right. This week's Big 12 quarterback spent 3 years in Conference USA before transferring to a Big 12 quarterback where he was known more as a backup, but due to injuries, saw the field 11 games his first year at the Big 12 school, and then 12 games the next 2 years.
12 games over the next 2 years, or 12 games each of the next 2 years?
Okay. Each. So 6 years in college. It's going to be a big hint.
So he must be a doctor or something.
Exactly. Precisely. A lot of people go to college for 6 years.
Conference USA player. Big 12 school. Oh, boy. The problem is it doesn't narrow it down anymore because there's so many guys that play 6 years.
Well, and there's also been probably 50 different schools that have been in the Conference USA in the last decade with how much turnover that conference has had.
It's true.
Does Conference USA exist anymore?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it does, right?
Yeah. Yep.
I think I don't remember if UTSA is actually in that conference. I think we have to have a hint at what school he transferred from or something. That's just so broad.
All right. Yeah, the Conference USA thing is confusing. It's North Texas. They're in the American now.
Oh! North Texas guy.
I should know. The Mean Green. Matt Van Winkle's Mean Green. His lock of the week hit. It shouldn't have.
I can't think of. I don't watch North Texas football at all.
You're down there.
That's North Texas. You're probably closer to North Texas than I am. I don't even think I have a guess. I can't come up with anything.
Yeah, I thought I had a guess because initially Chandler Morris came to my mind, but he did the reverse. He went from a Big 12 school to North Texas.
I thought he went to SMU, didn't he? Or Chandler Morris was at SMU at one point, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was at North Texas on the original college football video game last year. I know that much. Oh, man. Texas.
I don't. Yeah, that's my problem. North Texas had like a pretty good run under Seth Luttrell probably, 6-7 years ago? So it's probably from that era, I would imagine, when he was playing there. But I don't think I even have a guess here. Oh, wait. He played at Kansas, didn't he? It's
Maybe.
Jason Bean.
Yeah.
Jason Bean. There we go. Now I remember.
Yep.
I feel dumb. That name came to my head for no reason other than I was just like thinking of a random Kansas quarterback. Because I couldn't think of any other school. So I'm like, is it just one of those random KU quarterbacks? But I was thinking even earlier. Like I was thinking Les Miles era.
No, well, it had to be I guess Les Miles was there, but that was a tough one. Because you don't think North Texas, but
no,
he was pretty good there.
He played, 16 games there, but his stats weren't anything to be like, oh, this guy's going to elevate to a Big 12 program. He was at Kansas from 2021 to 2023.
He was a solid backup.
Yeah, I mean, he torched Iowa State in 2023 in Brock Purdy's homecoming game. That game sucked. Totally sucked. All right, well, we're doing something different now. We are bringing back, I guess not bringing back, we are bringing our Big 12 top 5 power rankings to you. And I'm excited for this. We're going to do it every week. We're going to see how much it changes. Aiden, are we throwing these up at the same time? Are we doing one at a time? How'd you make
One at a time.
One at a time. Okay. So I'll just start because I'm already talking. I have...
Selfish.
That's right. I have the Texas Tech Red Raiders at number 1, followed by the 4-0 Iowa State Cyclones. TCU is a clear number 3 for me. BYU gets the edge for being undefeated, but Arizona State hops back into the top 5 following their great win at Baylor. Any disagreements?
Honestly, no. You're going to see mine here in a minute, and it's going to look pretty close.
I'm going to guess you probably just have BYU and Arizona State flipped. That's my guess.
Yeah.
Bang!
Not an exciting top 5 this week for either one of us. But yeah, Texas Tech got to be the clear number 1. I said that on social media. Iowa State, I feel comfortable with them at 2. You could maybe flip TCU and Iowa State. I wouldn't have an issue with that. But I put the Cyclones at number 2. TCU at 3 after their big win at SMU. Arizona State and BYU, I could see where you can make an argument for BYU there. However, Arizona State just has better wins right now. Beating Baylor,
Yeah.
even beating Texas State's probably better than any win that BYU has right now. Now, their win against North Carolina on the road, or East Carolina on the road, was impressive, considering they were only, 6-point favorites in that game. So, but I mean, I'm not going to nitpick too much, but I could see where you could make an argument for BYU probably at number 4. I don't think you could push BYU yet into the 3 spot.
No, I don't think so either. I was going back and forth between BYU, Arizona State, and
that's the hardest one.
I think Kansas was a pretty clear 6, but I didn't have a problem coming up with my 5 teams. I think that there's a pretty clear divide right now, and that'll change. These teams will all lose, or most of them will lose.
The question I would have for you is, if Arizona State did not, let's say they beat Mississippi State, would you put Arizona State at 1, or would you put them at 2?
I'd have them at 2.
2? Okay.
I think what Texas Tech did yesterday, it passed the eye test, it passed the resume test, it passed all of the tests. And that's ultimately what a power ranking is for me. It's not necessarily who has the best resume thus far. I think a lot of it is just who do I think's the best team, who do I think's playing the best, and I think right now Texas Tech is clearly the number 1 team in the Big 12.
Aiden, were you trying to put Mike Gundy in the top 5?
Free Gundy.
All right. Well,
oh man,
maybe we'll do a bottom 5 as well.
Oh, that'd just be depressed. It's just going to be Oklahoma State and West Virginia every week.
Getting all cocky now with your Central Florida Knights.
I mean, UCF might be in that bottom 5 at some point this season. I'm sure.
But not right now.
I picked him 15th, so yeah, I probably would have him about my bottom 5 at some point. Yeah.
All right, Aiden is going to come on in here with the Iowa trivia question. We're keeping him busy here on this fine Sunday morning.
All right. It's the world's largest bull. In Audubon, Iowa, he stands at 30 feet tall, 33 feet long, with a 15-foot horn span. Derek, what's his name?
Oh, God. I don't know. Are there any balls on that bull? I don't think I see any balls on that thing.
Give me 1 second.
They neutered him with a sword.
Yeah.
Not scissors. It was just like a medieval sword.
I don't know. I'd have no idea what they would name that thing. Jake, do you know the name of it?
I have no clue.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah, I don't think I ventured to Audubon in my time.
Where is that? I don't even know where that is.
Audubon
Yonder.
is north.
North? Like far north?
See, people always confuse it. My dad is from Auburn, Iowa, which is far smaller than Audubon is. So I've never been to Audubon. I didn't know they had a big bull there, but it's pretty cool.
It is cool. I don't know the name. You're gonna have to tell us the name.
It's Albert.
Albert the bull.
Albert.
And check out his giant testicles. There you go.
Oh, okay. There we go. I couldn't see it from the other angle. Now I see it. All right.
I had to find an angle where you couldn't see the front Albert the bull sign. So
There we go. That's pretty cool. Well, if I go up there, I'll have to take a picture with it.
Thank you, Aiden. Albert the bull. It's over at, I guess it's not as far north. It's more west Iowa. It's straight west.
Okay.
So it's over in the Atlantic area. That probably does nothing for you.
That does nothing for me.
Harlan. So we'll pick games here in a second. Big 12 Survivor starts next week. The best way to do this, go to iowaeverywhere.com or go to our Iowa Everywhere Twitter or Facebook pages. I'm going to post the link for you to join. And all this is, it's a Google Docs form. It will ask you to send your email and your team that you're picking. It's as simple as that. I'm going to throw it all together in an Excel sheet, and I will kind of play commissioner on my own end. So for week 1, this is for Big 12 league games only. So you can't pick Houston as they play at Oregon State, and you, of course, can't pick Texas Tech, who's on a bye. So any other team is fair game, and the rules, pretty simple. You can only pick each team once all season long. So pick wisely. You probably don't want to waste TCU if they're playing UCF, or you probably don't want to waste, you get the point. You don't want to waste a top team if they're playing one of the bottom teams most likely. That's why it's hard, though, because you can only pick each team once. So go to iowaeverywhere.com or go to our Iowa Everywhere Twitter and Facebook page. I'll be sure to have those up as this podcast comes out. And then every week, I just kindly ask that you submit before noon on Thursday. If you don't get it on noon on Thursday, I'm just going to throw it in a random number generator and give you a random team. So you could be stuck with Oklahoma State in one of these weeks. So
you don't want that.
It'll be fun, and we'll get some sponsor prizes involved, and we'll make it a little bit of a topic on this show each week, which leads me in. Derek, I didn't even prep you on this. Who are you picking for your Big 12 week, not week 1 Survivor, but our first week of Big 12 Survivor?
Well, you put me on the spot. I don't even know the slate, really. Well, I guess I do have the slate in front of me next week, but I don't know. Should I go UCF? No, I'm not going to go UCF. Boy,
I'll give you some time. You can just tweet it out.
Yeah, I think just looking at the schedule here, I'd probably have to go either BYU, Baylor, or Utah. Might be Baylor or Utah here just because I feel more confident in those picks. I don't know if I'm ready to pick BYU just as a lock to win over Colorado at Colorado yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's honestly a really tough first week of Survivor, but just tweet it out. Well, I'll let you off the hook for now.
Thank you.
So we're going to pick some games, and it is brought to you by Whiskey River, where they've got, they got all the good food, cold beer, great service. But above all else, you will not believe this. They have what it takes to have a good time, Derek.
Looking for a good time? Thought so. Whiskey River is just the place. We've got the booze, the food, the vibe, and the amazing rooftop patio. The only thing missing is you. Whiskey River.
A good time at Whiskey River is easy to find. Locations in Ankeny and Ames. They help present our game picks each week. We're recording a little earlier than normal, as we've said. I've got some family pictures coming up today.
How does that work?
What do you mean? You sit
do you
there.
have to go somewhere, or you're in like a studio, or you go outside for those pictures?
I have no idea, man. I'm just showing up.
I think my family took one picture probably about 20 years ago. I don't think we've done them since.
It's my grandma's 80th birthday present. So we're getting like family pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm just showing up. I'm wearing what I was told to wear, and that is the extent of my preparation.
I got you. Hey, speaking of Whiskey River, could you imagine yesterday sitting at? I don't think I would have left Whiskey River yesterday at all. I probably would have been there for 12 hours, watching all those college football games yesterday.
The problem is the reason I didn't do it is because I'm going to WealthCharter on Monday. So
you didn't want to show them the tab at Whiskey River.
Yeah,
I got you.
Because I'm telling you, man, I watched football from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. yesterday. If I spent that entire time at Whiskey River, I think Tim Hawkins would lock me out. Be like, nope, appointment canceled.
He'd lock you out, and Aiden would have to carry you out.
There's no financial preparation on your end, young man. No, I'm kidding. Tim Hawkins won't turn away anybody. He will help you no matter your financial situation. We've got 5 games to pick this week because we don't have spreads on all of them just yet. And we're going to start with TCU at Arizona State, a Friday night special on Fox at 8 o'clock. Right now, the home team, ASU, is favored by 2.5 points.
Oh, man.
This game is awesome.
This is going to be
I'm clearing my schedule for Friday night. I'm telling you that now.
I think I just simply, due to the fact that they are at home, I have to go Arizona State right now. I think I could say that Arizona State's maybe more tested than TCU right now, but with TCU beating SMU the way they did, I would say they are pretty tested. But I think that defense of theirs is going to step up. Sam Levitt's going to make some plays against TCU as well. So Arizona State, I say they're probably going to win by exactly 3 points. The spread was what, 2.5?
Yep, 2.5 as of now.
Yeah,
on DraftKings.
I would take Arizona State in that.
I like what TCU did against Kevin Jennings. Jennings, not quite the arm talent of Levitt. Very, very similar when it comes to making plays with their legs. I like TCU to do just enough to survive this game and cement themselves as a full full-fledged Big 12 contender at the top of the league, and this would be the statement win that they've been waiting for since they beat Michigan in the college football playoff all those years ago. Give me the Horned Frogs on the road.
Wow.
Boom. You like that?
Outright to win or just to cover?
Both.
Both. Okay.
But for
bold
picks,
prediction.
but for picks' sake, I'll take him to cover.
Okay.
But when Randy Peterson's column comes out later this week, expect to see me picking the Horned Frogs to beat the Devils, the Sun Devils. Sorry.
It's a good pick. I don't hate that pick at all.
Also on Friday night, going to be a good night to have the triple screen actually, so I can watch Keith Murphy announce high school football. The Houston Cougars go on the road to Corvallis to play Oregon State, where the Cougs are favored by 12.5 for a 9:30 kick on ESPN.
Houston's a better team. Oregon State is absolute garbage. Being on the road is interesting for me, but I just don't trust Oregon State at all in that spot. I'm going to take the Cougars to cover that game.
Oregon State is broken, man. It's sad. It's sad to see how broken that football team is. You lose your coach. You lose pretty much everything. Give me the Cougs. I think they're battle-tested. I trust a Willie Fritz coach team coming off a bye week, heading into that spot. Even though it's a late game in Corvallis on national TV, I still think the Cougs walk out of there with a semi-convincing win. But again, 12.5, that's a lot of points.
It's a lot of points.
That's hard to swallow on the road, but I'll do it. Next up, we got UCF at Kansas State. The battle for 10th in the Big 12. K-State's at home, favored by 5.5 for an 11 a.m. kick on FS1, where this game belongs.
Gosh. I don't know how I feel about this game because UCF's kind of getting a little better. Kansas State, I don't know where they are in their head right now, but they are coming off a bye week. I like that.
That could be good.
That could be good or it could be really bad. I think I'm going to take Kansas State, and damn it, if they fail me this time, that's the last time I'm picking Kansas State this year. This is my their last chance for me. I'm going to take Kansas State in that game. That's a must-win. That's a must-win, or Chris Kleiman might as well pack up his bags and leave.
I think I'm with you. I still don't think UCF has proven anything, as weird as that sounds. I think North Carolina is terrible, like so bad. I think UCF is better than I've given them credit for. But K-State, there's no excuse. You got to win this game. You have to win this game. If they don't come out and play desperate, they might not cover the 5.5, but I expect them to play desperate. I expect them to make a statement, and I might even alternate this game up to like 12.5 or something. They should win this game by 2 touchdowns.
If it was 10 points, I'd still feel okay with taking Kansas State. I don't know if I'd take 14 or 15 or anything like that. So I like it where it is.
Arizona State at Iowa State. The Cyclones also coming off of a bye. This is a 6 p.m. kick in whiteout conditions at Jack Trice Stadium on ESPN. The Cyclones, I've seen it at 7. I've also seen it at 7.5. We'll set it at 7. Where are you going?
Got to take Iowa State here.
Dang, we're riding together a lot.
Night game, whiteout. I still don't know how good Arizona is. I know they beat Kansas State at home, but I'm not sure that they're going to be ready to go into Jack Trice and win a game. So I do like Iowa State to cover in that game.
Yeah, this Arizona team is much improved defensively. I think they're maybe a little more complete offensively than they were last year, even though they lost an NFL future star in Tet McMillan. But again, this is their first road game. And this isn't going to be any road game. The whiteout at Jack Trice is going to be on fire. Iowa State's coming off of a bye. Arizona's also coming off of a bye. But I just think Iowa State will be ready to go, make a statement that, yeah, some weird stuff happened in those first 4 weeks, but that doesn't define who we are. I think Iowa State rolls over Arizona.
Yeah, I agree.
Rolls. And then finally, another nightcap on ESPN. It's BYU at Colorado at 9:15. The Cougs favored by 6.5 on the road at Folsom Field.
Gosh. How much do I trust Colorado here in this spot? I do like Caden Salter as their starting quarterback, but BYU defensively, I think, is going to give Colorado some problems. And I don't know how good Colorado's defense is, especially because I know what BYU is going to do. They're going to run the football. So I think I like BYU to cover in that game.
We don't have the total yet, but if we did, I'd take the under.
Yeah,
even
100%.
if it was at like 28.5 points, I'd still probably find a way to take the under.
That's a bit extreme.
Yeah, I got to go BYU. I don't trust Colorado.
At this point.
I don't trust Colorado. I trust BYU in this spot. I just hate that we have 4 of the same picks. So I'm guessing it'll be determined by the TCU Arizona State game. So that's the only one we're going head to head on. So we'll be decided
Friday night
before midnight. Well, I can't wait. You can ride us, you can tail us. Either way, it's probably not a good idea either way because we've both kind of been up in the air. I got to go back and I got to count the picks. My bad. I was supposed to do that. I think I might have gone 5-0 last week though.
Holy shit! Did you really?
I was looking at my picks. I was trying to remember what I said on the pod. I got to go back and I need to start writing these down because I'm always like, oh, I'll just go back and listen. But I'm almost certain that I went 5-0.
Well, congratulations if you did.
Thank you.
I know I did not go 5-0, especially that West Virginia pick.
Yeah, and that accounts for like 5 losses.
Probably.
Well, we're going to be back next week. We got a big week in the Big 12. Massive week in the Big 12 again. Heck, every week here on Bigger Than 12 is a big week in the Big 12.
Always is.
Thanks for supporting here in the Channel Seed Studios. Be sure to like, subscribe if you're not already, tell a friend, and come back next Sunday for Bigger Than 12 here on the Iowa Everywhere Podcast Network.